Welcome to Be in the Garden, be in nature. I trust you're well, because I certainly am. Out in nature. As you can hear, we've got the cockerels crowing. If you just take a listen to the birds. It's magical. I've seen the wrens today, I've seen the blue tits, I've seen some robins, house sparrows, and I'm out in the bee in the garden. And there are neighbours out, you can hear electrical goods going off, neighbours talking, cockerels crowing, birds chirping. But you are most welcome. If you've never been here before, you're most definitely welcome. Be sure to give it this. That's just to show appreciation. Anyway, I'm really just trying to zoom out of the distracted noise, if that is such. I'm trying to zoom out of. I'm just trying to zoom in and just take in the noise of the birds. And I think every time I say that, the cockerel feels left out and just has to announce he's around too. But anyway, listen, I've got to tell you what I'm here for today, because you need to know why you've tuned in, right? I've got a lot of little jobs to do around the garden today, and I'm going to bring you along with me, as I often do. One of them is to show you the beauty of this tree here, my amazing Magnolia. She and I are absolute friends. I adore her, she adores me back. There is a story behind this tree, and I almost have to say that every time I come to her, that she's beginning to show off her beauty at this time. We are filming at the beginning of March, we're in the UK, and she's been dormant over the winter, but she's absolutely putting on her blossoms. I'm going to show you that. But besides showing off my Magnolia, I have a couple of projects that I'm going to be doing in the garden today. One of them is to plant some Bareroot trees or plants that I received recently, and I haven't quite located where they're going to stay in their permanent position in the garden. So for that reason, I still must put them in some soil. So I'm going to be doing that today. Okay, let me just show you the Magnolia. How amazing she is. I know you will agree with me. So this is the UK. This Magnolia is Magnolia Susan, as in a common female name, Magnolia Susan, and she has slightly deeper colour hue than the typical ones you find here in the UK. So her blossom, her petals, are a slightly deeper colour. I think the only disadvantage of this plant, or this tree, if there ever could be, is that her blossoms do not last for very long. Many of them have shedded, many of them have released their outer casings to reveal now the pink petals and blossom. I think most magnolias are sort of like a range of most magnolias are a range of pinks, pale pinks to the deep crimson colours. But this one here is Magnolia Susan, and I don't do much with her. I just enjoy her, really. She's grown over the years, most definitely. The lighting's not great, so you can't see the blossom so prolifically, but she will get more and more bold with her colours. But anyway, on to a couple of projects that I have planned today. In the ceramic container here, I will be filling this back and potting on a canna lily actually. And then I also have some Bareroot plants that need planting out. Ideally, I should have had them planted in the ground already, to be honest. But with all the things that I get up to in my busy week, I haven't had time to do that. So I'm going to sort of do the next best thing, which is just use one of these containers. This one has no drainage, so I'm very mindful of that. And I am going to put these in there collectively, so all of them together into the container, and just backfill with some soil. When I purchased them, as you can see from here, let me just show you. I will sort of type out. Okay, so what you can see from here is the name of this particular plant. Ooh, am I focused? That's her there. This is a wild rose. And when you purchase these, you purchase them in the winter months. So Bareroot plants, as I've stated before, are really a great way, an economical way to buy plants, because as you can see, they come with no soil, no pots. When you buy plants in pots and with soil, you're really paying for that additional effort that the grower has made to put them into plant pots. So what I often do is purchase my plants during the dormant season. So here in the UK, we're talking about November, December, January, February time, around that time when the plant goes into dormancy. And it's a great time to buy bare roots. And you can buy bare roots in terms of flowers, lots of edibles, especially fruit trees. So, the cherry tree, the apple tree. It's a great time to purchase them then. What I've done is I purchased a range of different bare roots, but ideally, in an ideal situation, I should have had these planted out into the soil already. But because I'm sort of moving my garden around, changing things around, I'm not certain where I'm going to plant these in their permanent place. So I'm going to do the next best thing, which is just to put them into buckets for now and backfill them with soil. I'm going to just show you the different plants and show you that ideally I should have had this done already, because when you purchase them bare root, you shouldn't normally see the buds or the leaves already beginning to spring out. So that's my bad, as they say here in the UK. But this is lovely because it's just showing you that it's not just a dry twig or branch, but that it is beginning to emerge out of dormancy, even though it hasn't yet been placed in soil. So, and I know in America, you say dirt, but here in the UK, we say to plant it in compost or in soil. So I'm going to just stay here underneath the magnolia tree and fill the pot and plant these out. So let me just give you an idea of what the plants are though. I showed you the first one, the rosa. This doesn't look like much, but it actually will end up being a huge tree. This one is, let's show you. There we go, Prunus domestica. The number next to it is the size. Let's see if I can. The number next to it, 60/80, is the size of the plant. So you can buy these in different lengths. I'm not in a hurry to grow this, so I've purchased one which is relatively small, and I'm not sponsored in any way. I'll definitely let you know if I ever were to be, but this is from this company here, who I've used many, many times. and they deliver in the UK. Let's see if I can. Tangled. Another plants we have here. There's another rosa. See that one? If when I'm filming it this way you don't see it, then I'll be sure to type up the labels or type up the name of the plants. This is the largest of them all. Look at the root system. It's actually quite soft. It's surprisingly soft. I can't even remember what this is. It has the Latin names, of course. Hopefully you can see that. If not, at the time of editing, I'll be sure to put the name of this plant in. Cornless mass. Okay, just to see what that looks like. What the roots look like on that plant. Oh, this one's got slight damage actually. That's not so good, is it? Oh, Amelanchier. What a beautiful, beautiful tree. I've always loved Amelanchiers. So here we have an Amelanchier. Again, I'll be sure to type up the names of each of these. But this one's got a slight damage here. I'll have to cut that off clean, but she will get back to good health in no time. Okay, so let me just start this process. I'm going to fill this up with some compost from my garden. I think about halfway, I think. It's a little awkward me reaching up here. Okay, so here are the bare roots, and all I'm going to do is put them into this container containing some homemade compost. And I'm going to leave them there and water them gently, being mindful of the fact that there's no drainage in this particular bucket, so I won't over water this at all. But I'm just going to pop them into the bucket, ensuring that the roots are covered with soil. In between layers, I may just add a little compost, again just to ensure that the roots do not become dry. So the beauty of buying Bareroot is they really do work out very, very economical in comparison to purchasing plants that are already potted on. And all I'm doing is just popping them into some soil. until such time that I find their permanent position in the garden. I do need to make sure that they get watered, so I will be watering them to ensure they do not dry out. And I can possibly get away with leaving them in here, hopefully for certainly for a few days, and possibly even for a couple of weeks, until I prepare their permanent space. As you know, I'm working on a huge project. Well, to me it's a huge project, but I'm very inspired by some of my subscribers, and a beautiful lady by the name of Susan, who's got huge projects going on in her garden. And I'm thinking, well, absolutely, I'm inspired by some of you and some of the things that you're telling me that you're getting up to in your garden. That there's a project I've been sort of reluctant to do, and sort of shying away from the more physical side of things, I guess, if I'm being honest. But now, with some of the feedback I'm getting from some of you, I was already inspired to do it, but you're certainly inspiring me and encouraging me to do more and more. So I certainly will be doing that. So as you can see from there, I've popped the plants in, and I'm just sort of, if it was, the camera's shaking, I'm just making sure that each and every one of them, is covered with some compost to make sure they do not dry out. Let me just get the smaller trowel just so I can dig around the corners a little. Place some soil at the back. That's it. I always make my work very hard, don't I? I've gone and done it up on this table, and now I need to lift it down. I'll be sure to lift it down before I put the water in there. Okay, so I'm just going to sort of compress it a little bit. Make sure the roots are definitely covered, which they are now. And that's one of the small projects I needed to get done today, but I'm pleased I've got that done, because I was worrying that they were growing without the soil. I now need to lift this up and bring that down so that I can water the soil. I'll place it underneath the magnolia tree actually. That's fine. Just going to get the watering can and water this in somewhat. I won't drench it because there's no drainage holes in this particular container. The forecast is a little bit of rain forecast, but I just need to water them just to ensure that the roots do not dry out. So I'm just going to get that now. I'm not going to overwater it, but just a little bit of water just to push the soil down around the roots and to make sure the roots do not dry out. I told you I'd be back. And look at this splendid display. Oh my goodness, I couldn't wish for anything better. Look at her. She's showing off a little though, isn't she? And she's absolutely entitled to. Look at the splendour. Look at the beauty. Oh my gosh. Can't tell you. What a joy. What a joy. What magnificent beauty. And as I always say, the camera does it no justice. Look at the colour of the pink against the blue sky. The magnolia is magnificent. And she's called Susan. She's called Susan. such a shame that petals don't last for too long. Really, here in the UK, we're talking about, maybe a week to 10 days if you're lucky. And on a windy day, you'll see the petals just fall off the tree. They're so delicate. She's so delicate. But it's absolutely been worth waiting for her. Because look. Look at her. And that's it. And that's it with the bare roots for now. They're planted away, and so I'm going to move on to the next job. Thank you so much for watching. Please do give me a thumbs up. A nice short video for you. Going to bring you back to the Magnolia again though, just so you can see perhaps in the next video. Normally about a week difference to see how much change we'll see in that Magnolia. But I'm going to now get on with another job in the garden. You'll see that in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And those comments, I'm really loving engaging with you guys, so feel free to leave me a comment. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.